It is your morning ritual with me, Garrett Lewis, KNST AM 790 Tucson.
Every morning, Tucson wakes up to Garrett Lewis on the radio.
Friday, baby!
For 4 hours, the conservative talk show host discusses politics. On today's show, the conversation centered around another report on alleged voter fraud in 2020.
And they found over 20,000 ballots that should have been tossed.
Democrats at all levels, even Joe Biden himself, have called people like Lewis election deniers, people who have challenged the results of that election.
Yes, I believe there was widespread fraud. There were officials, they were Democrats, that chose to change the way votes were counted, accepted, things like that. If you put your ballot in the mail, it goes through 12 different sets of hands. Who knows what can happen?
And this is what election skeptics want to end, the ability to send your ballot in by mail or to vote early like here, sometimes weeks before Election Day. They say it allows and even encourages electoral fraud. It's a system that Mark Finchem wants to overhaul. If he becomes the next Secretary of State, he'll be in charge of overseeing the next presidential election in Arizona. And he has said he would not have certified Biden's win 2 years ago.
We're not denying that there was an election. We're just questioning the result. So for all of the people who say, well, it's going to take us a month to count all those ballots. Really? How is it that France can count 64 million ballots, I believe that's their number, in a day?
But this is the real Republican star here. Kari Lake is running for governor. She's a former news anchor and entered politics just last year.
And so I like to do this for the fake news. How many of you aren't watching the fake news anymore? We had that border, it was a mess for most of the time. Politicians promised they would do something, and nobody did until President Donald J. Trump came along.
Republican supporters reject the term election denier.
We have a lot of questions that have not been answered. Answer those questions for us.
All eyes will be on this building in Phoenix. It's where 2/3 of Arizona's votes will be counted. Final results may not come for several days, but despite the doubts and questions some may have, officials are asking voters to trust the process.